Welcome to this IBR Global MBA. We would like to engage with you. If we say engage, we would really like to look over your shoulders over a period of 2 years. Over your shoulders whilst you're solving management problems. That's what the Global MBA is about. You're going to solve 24 smaller management problems during the first 18 months, followed by a final larger management problem at the end during the final 6 months. How does it look like solving a management problem? These 24 management problems would be equal to a course unit. And for each course unit, we will provide you with a bit of reading. A bit, could be 100, 200 pages. Good news, there are no written examinations. For us, these readings are more like acquainting you with the Management Toolbox. Now, together with your Management Toolbox, your readings, you would receive an instruction sheet. And this instruction sheet will help you to identify at your workplace a reading-related management problem. This is where your studies actually start, because now you start describing the problem the way how it is. Number 2, you try to figure out where are things going into the wrong direction, where are things that you do not like. How do you do this? You go back to your Management Toolbox, you take the tools, you apply them. By applying them, you are most likely going to identify the root cause of the problem that you're actually dealing with. Now, having identified the root cause, you now would like to come up with solutions. Again, you go back to your toolbox, you apply the tools, and by applying the tools, you are able to develop recommendations. Now, as a university, we are not interested in the best academic solution. We are interested in a solution that you are able to implement at your workplace, in the working environment, the country in which you are. Now, having finalized this, you are going to be asked to write a management report where you would start with the description, with your analysis, with your recommendation, and also input on the implementation. Now, having drafted the first version of this management report, it's not the final one, it's your first try. We invite you to participate in a tutorial session, which is taking place after working hours. Now, in this tutorial session, a web conference, the other students and the course professor will be present, and you are given the opportunity to present. The others are going to action like a personal advisory board. They're going to give you a peer feedback on this first try. It's a presentation among friends. You can ask as many questions as you wish, and once you're ready, someone else is going to present. And you're going to be part of this advisory board and going to consult the second presenter. There are going to be in total 3 or 4 presentations by people coming from different countries, different industries, different academic backgrounds, and they're all solving exactly the same management problem. Now, after 2 hours, you may say, wonderful, there are so many new ideas that I haven't been even thinking about. Now you're given time for another week in order to upgrade your first try, your first draft, and the final version you upload, and we come back with coaching comments from a professional as well as from an academic angle. Now, this is what I would call the engine of the Global MBA, because you're going to solve one management problem after the other 24 times in order to learn the science of business administration, how to solve problems. Now, on top of that, we invite you to participate during these first 18 months into 6 residential periods. Now, a residential period from our perspective is an interactive workshop. Each of these workshops is exactly 5 days long. Now, we run one in strategy, one in finance, one in marketing, one in human resources, one in operations, and the final one in research. Now, out of these 6 residentials, there are 2 that are going to be conducted overseas from your perspective. One is going to take place on the premises of the degree-giving university, which is Sigmaringen University, where we're going to look in Germany at medium-sized companies and see how they design their operations in order to compete internationally, considering that there are lower-cost countries that are highly competitive to the German companies. The second overseas residential period is going to take place in Israel. Israel, besides being the Holy Land, it is also the startup nation of the world, and there are no more companies per capita in any other country that are being started than in Israel. All these companies are looking, how in the world are we going to market now our products and services in other countries? And that's what we're going to look at. Now, the final residential period is going to be slightly different, because here the course professor is going to work with you on a one-on-one basis. We conduct this online, where you, at the end of this residential period, will have a roadmap in your hand how to solve a larger management problem that's going to keep you busy during the last 6 months and eventually will turn into a master thesis that you're going to defend at the end. Now, because this Global MBA finishes off with a master thesis, you do have the invitation to continue at PhD level after you graduated.